Times in America have changed. What used to be wrong is now right, and things that were bad are now good. Cigarettes used to be illegal right along with alcohol, but now they both are legal. So now, is it right to justify suicide? Is it safe to say that people now will have control over how long they will live? My partner and I feel that euthanasia is bad and should be banned in the United States. The affirmative side resolved that voluntary euthanasia should be legalized in the United States for the terminally ill. Euthanasia is deeper than just the surface itself. It affects a lot of people other than the victim itself. It causes suffering for people such as the family and loved ones. Question: is illegal suicide really the key to make things better? No. If the patient decides to euthanize themselves, they are not the only person being affected by the decision. Euthanasia is selfish and is more beneficial for no one. Joy will not feel as good if it wasn't for pain. It's the fight in a person and constant encouragement for family and loved ones that cause a person to survive. It's been done before. Just being by the side of the sick could give them the strength needed to know there is a better tomorrow. The purpose of life is to live as long as you can, but having the option to euthanize comes off as a way to determine how long they will live. Since when has a person been able to make that decision? Never. So why should the person have the option now? Since assisted suicide has been legalized in Oregon and Washington, death rates have went up. Since it has been available, Oregon has reported 63% of people who were terminally ill was euthanized because they didn't want to be a burden to their family or friends and caregivers. Have you ever had to choose between two things? Just think. How many times did you go back and forth between two things before you finally came to a decision? My point is feelings change every day. One day you can feel like you want one thing and then turn around and want another. Legalizing euthanasia is not a good idea because the patient is not in the correct state of mind. One day they can give up total hope, believing that they will not be able to handle the obstacle that life is presenting them. After they have made their decision to euthanize themselves, they may change their mind because after the fact they realize that there is no turning back. When the family have the option to put in the family member to death, is that justice? I would say no. Honestly, every day you hear more and more about insurance scandals and bad relationships between family members. How is it possible that doctors will know the family will make the best decision for the patient? Doctors in the past have spent more time examining patients for psychological lapses before they even consider euthanasia. In 1999, 37% of doctors referred patients for psychological evaluations. In 2000, 19% of doctors did that. This shows that doctors won't go the extra step for the terminally ill. If you think about it, doctors will get paid regardless of what the situation is. My opponents might argue that living a terminally ill life would cost too much. But are you telling me that a human life is not worth more than a piece of green paper? Honestly, we're not talking about killing a dog or cat. We're talking about killing a mom, a dad, a sister, or a brother who once shared moments with you. If euthanasia is legalized in the United States, health insurance will go up no matter if you use it or not. Just having the option will cost you. Businessweek.com states that the #1 reason for bankruptcy in America is medical bills. If euthanasia was legalized in the United States, it will not be cheap. Just think, if people can't pay for medical bills now, how would they afford to pay for euthanasia if it was even legalized? The affirmative also might argue that it should be their choice, but in my opinion, we do not choose we do not choose when we are born, so why should we be able to choose when we die? My plan is to ban euthanasia in America. For those who are considering euthanasia, how is assisted suicide justifiable? My partner and I feel is an easy way out. If it is legalized, death rates will go up, health insurance will go up, more doctors won't go the extra mile to find a cure, and hope will be lost for those who are considered to be terminally ill. I think an organization should be opened up and funded by the government to fund more research for those who are terminally ill. This will help patients live longer and never even consider dying. In conclusion, instead of trying to make voluntary euthanasia legal, more time and research should be spent to find new ways to cure the terminally illness such as lung cancer, leukemia, and hepatitis B. Making voluntary euthanasia legal would just cause doctors to care less about their patients and give up more, because euthanasia will become an option given by the doctor since it is available. People shouldn't be influenced by euthanasia because it seems to be an easy way out. They should be influenced to believe that they do have something to live for. I think if one person who once was considered to be terminally ill survived, there is no point to legalize euthanasia because people have survived without that option being available in America. Thank you. Vote negative.